All right, Dr. K, let's dive into this. One third of first year students globally, that's a huge number, are dealing with anxiety, mood disorders, or substance issues based on the research. I mean, what on earth is going on here?
It's staggering, isn't it? And it shows just how much these young adults are struggling during a pivotal transition in their lives. You've got students grappling with identity, independence, financial pressures, academic expectations. It's like they're juggling flaming torches without any experience or instruction.
I get that. When I started college, let's just say I didn't have it all figured out. Honestly, I faced some dark times. I'm talking about late nights, no sleep, just spiraling. I even nearly dropped a class because I couldn't focus. So, yeah, this topic, it hits close to home.
That's tough, Tim, but it's not uncommon. And your experience kind of illustrates why this matters so much. Mental health challenges can derail academic performance, but it goes further than that. It affects self confidence, relationships, and overall health. For a lot of students, they're entering college without the life skills to manage these stressors effectively.
Wait, is that part of why OT is diving into higher education? I thought OTs were more about, physical recovery or mobility stuff.
Haha, right. That's a common perception. But modern occupational therapy recognizes how mental health and everyday functioning are deeply connected. An OT on campus might focus on teaching life skills or helping students manage anxiety so they can balance their academic, social, and personal lives more effectively.
So it's like creating the toolkit they never got in high school, right? Problem solving, time management, all that stuff that you don't even realize you need until life throws a wrench in the works.
Exactly. And the research backs it up. Students who lack these skills are at higher risk of not finishing their degrees, even if they're academically capable. It's about addressing barriers that aren't immediately visible, but have massive long term impacts.
Yeah, and when you think about one third of freshmen wrestling with this, it's not just individual students, it's a systemic issue. Are we even prepared for this as institutions? We push retention strategies, but are we tackling the root problems?
That's a critical point, and occupational therapy could be a game changer here. It's one thing to add counseling resources, and those are invaluable. But if you integrate OT, you also focus on enabling students to function better in their daily roles.
Wow, so mental health isn't just about mental health, it's about, well, everything else too. That's a lot to process.
It is, and it's why higher education institutions need to start looking at comprehensive approaches. Students aren't just test takers, they're young adults navigating a minefield of challenges.
Yeah, and if they can't get through those challenges, the numbers don't lie. They're not going to make it to graduation. It's all connected, isn't it? Dr. K, it's all starting to connect for me now. First, mental health, then life skills. And now, what about chronic illnesses? I didn't realize just how many students in the 18 to 24 age range might be dealing with this. How big of a deal is this in the broader picture?
It's a significant challenge. About 15 to 20% of students in that age group live with some kind of chronic condition: diabetes, asthma, autoimmune disorders, even conditions like chronic fatigue or pain. And these aren't minor issues, they fundamentally shape a student's day to day life.
Okay, that's actually a lot. I'm guessing that adds another layer of complexity to, balancing academic demands with, well, life.
Exactly. And the thing is, chronic conditions often require constant management. Medications, appointments, dietary restrictions, daily routines, it's all consuming. Now, imagine trying to handle all that while keeping up with papers, exams, and maybe even a part time job on top of it.
Right, and then throw in social stuff, dorm life. It's like everything's stacked against you. This is more pervasive than I thought.
It really is. Take one of my former students. She had an autoimmune condition with severe fatigue and joint pain. By the time she sought help, her grades were tanking because just getting to class felt insurmountable.
So what did you do? How did you even start to help her?
Well, first we had to figure out what her barriers were. Together, we broke it down into manageable pieces. We worked on creating a schedule that prioritized her energy levels. Mornings were better for her, so we shifted her study blocks there. And we taught her strategies for communicating with her professors about her needs.
Wow, I wouldn't have even thought about tackling it like that. Did it work?
It did, but it took time. She learned how to pace herself to advocate for accommodations like extended deadlines. And most importantly, she stopped feeling like she had to go through it alone. That sense of having tools and support made all the difference.
Man, that's powerful. And it makes me think if just one student can benefit like that, imagine scaling this. How do OTs even fit into this, on a bigger level?
It comes down to recognizing those broader roles we play on campus. Whether it's in disability services, health promotion, or even student success centers, OTs can address these overlapping needs in ways traditional academic advisors or counselors might not.
It sounds like OTs are doing some essential work in these areas, Dr. K. But I'm curious, how do they carve out those roles on campus? Like, what does it actually look like for them to step into these newer spaces?
It's a great question. OTs are working in places like disability services, student success centers, and even health promotion programs. They're filling gaps in service areas that aren't traditionally covered by counseling or academic advising. For example, helping students build life skills or even addressing accessibility challenges on campus.
Okay, so disability services make sense. But these life skills, what does that mean exactly? Like, I'm trying to picture how this would work for a student.
Sure, imagine a student who struggles with time management or managing stress. It seems minor, but those are often the very skills that can make or break a college experience. OTs help students identify where they're getting stuck and develop strategies tailored to their individual needs. It could be creating study schedules, tackling sensory issues, or even teaching them how to communicate effectively with professors when challenges arise.
Huh. When you lay it out like that, I can see how critical that kind of support would be. It's not just academic, right? It's like the whole human experience of being a student.
Exactly. Students don't live in a vacuum. Success isn't just about grades, it's the combination of mental health, daily functioning, and navigating college life itself. That's where OT can have such a unique impact. They're trained to see the bigger picture and connect the dots in a way that really supports students holistically.
All right then. Let me throw this at you. Say an OT comes onto a university campus. What are the big hurdles they're going to face?
Oh, there are plenty. First off, a lot of administrators and even other professionals might not fully understand what OT is or how it fits into higher education. There's role confusion, and sometimes OTs have to spend a lot of time just explaining their value before they can do the work. Then there's funding. It's not always clear who pays for services or how they're structured within the campus system.
Right, funding. That always seems to be the sticking point, huh?
It really is. But when you look at the outcomes, better retention, improved student well being, it's an investment worth making. And institutions that have embraced OT often see significant benefits, not just for students with disabilities, but for the broader campus community.
My mom had OT after her stroke, and honestly, I was amazed. They helped her regain basic things that we all take for granted, like writing or making her own coffee again. Hearing this, I'm just thinking, why wouldn't we want students to have access to that kind of expertise? Like, it's a no-brainer.
That's such a great example, Tim. And you're right. Whether it's recovering from a stroke or navigating the challenges of being a college student, at its core, OT helps people live their best, most functional lives. It's all about enabling participation and success in whatever roles or goals they have.
So what's next? If this is still an emerging role, how do we move forward?
We need more recognition and integration at the institutional level, professional advocacy, and a stronger evidence base to show what OTs can accomplish in higher education. But it also starts with conversations like this, raising awareness, challenging assumptions, and hopefully planting the seed for change. It's about creating a campus environment where every student has the tools and support to thrive.
Well, I gotta say, Dr. K, this has been eye-opening for me. And honestly, I hope for our listeners too. The idea of OT on campus might be new, but it sounds like it's got huge potential. You've given us a lot to think about.
I'm so glad to hear that, Tim. This has been a really valuable conversation, and I hope it inspires listeners to think about higher education and OT in a broader way.
Absolutely. All right, that's all for today. Thanks for sticking with us, folks. We'll catch you next time.